Let me unmute myself. There we go. Good morning, everyone. It's Kate Richbourg, and it is Wednesday, October 26th, and we are here live on Beadshop Live. If you opened your newsletters today, you saw that we are going into our 7th year of live broadcasting. 6 years ago today, we had our very first live broadcast. And what a 6 years it's been, through a couple of offices, a few hairstyles, so many projects. So we really, really appreciate all of you all sticking with us. From some of you who have been here from the very first, like Geeta, who is doing our comments and moderating over on Facebook, to those of you who are joining us and fairly new to our program. I'm looking, there we go. Julie, she's new-ish, so welcome. So across the miles and across the years, thank you so much. Yes, and Kim, you have been here since day one. But those of you who have not seen or didn't, haven't seen all of the, I think it's over like 600 broadcasts. It's crazy. So many. That it's all archived. If you go over, number one, to our website, beadshopdotcom, you can find it there. If you click on live broadcasts, you'll see all the Beadshop lives. And then the following year, the year after we started the Wednesday broadcasts, I added a Friday broadcast. So you can go to Free Tip Friday as well. There is so much learning. A lot of those videos are attached to our projects that they're for, but you can also jump over to our YouTube channel as well. So let me, without further ado, do my due diligence and ask you to please follow us at beadshopdotcom on our Instagram. Drea does a fantastic job curating the content over there. So you can, if you do anything with our projects or our beads, give us a shout out over there, and we'd love to add you to our stories. We'd love to have you join us over on our Facebook group, which is almost 8,000 beaders strong over at the Bead Table. And hit that like, subscribe, and notification on our YouTube channel at beadshop.com so you don't miss a broadcast. Okay, so I did say, let me get my face back up on here. Bear with me here. Here I am. So today we're going to do a couple of things. Gosh, there's so many of you saying hello. Thank you so much. We've got so many of you commenting. I love this. Cindy, your first wrap bracelet was the charcoal color study. That color study, we all have favorite projects, I think, from Beadshop. Color study is one of Janice's classics. So if you haven't checked out color study, it is a whole color class in and of itself, right? It's fantastic. Thank you, Donna. Congrats to my favorite videos from the best jewelry artists. We thank you for that so much. Without this group of beaders, you guys out there and everybody here behind the scenes, myself, Janice, Drea, Claire, our Emily, Chris doing the packaging, our fulfillment center, all of you guys are doing such an amazing job. And all of us really, really appreciate you guys out there. So I did say that I was going to do some giveaways today, right? So I'm going to start and do some giveaways now at the beginning, and then I'm going to do some giveaways at the end, because I'm going to give away 7 gift certificates today. 7 $25 gift certificates to use on beadshop.com in celebration of um, are starting our 7th year. All right. So if you don't know how this works, what you do is, let me go over to the brand and then I'll repeat this so you guys can see this again later. We'll do some more at the end. So what you're going to do is you need to make sure that before leaving a comment in the comment section, if you're watching from the group only, if you're watching from YouTube or any of the Beadshop public pages, it's fine. But if you're in the Beadshop Bead Table group, you need to jump over to StreamYard.com. StreamYard is our platform that we use for live streaming. And you need to do /Facebook, and you're going to get a page that looks like this. Okay. You just need to grant StreamYard. See how it says, let StreamYard see your Facebook Live comments? You have to click on that, allow the platform permission because groups are private, right? So you have to grant permission. Then instead of seeing Facebook user like you see on there, I'll be able to see your name. Okay. So that's what happens there. And we're going to do 7. So I think I'm going to give away 3 right now and 4 at the end of the show. Okay. So what we're going to do is, and the giveaways are accepted on the live broadcast today on 10/26/22. Okay. So if you're watching this later or, later in the archives, I'm sorry that it won't be valid. Okay. But you're going to comment, and the comment you're going to put in is comment to win a $25 gift certificate from beadshopdotcom. Enter #7 in the comments. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to enter that #7. You can enter it as much as you want. StreamYard's only going to count your entry one time. Okay, and then I'm going to run the giveaway tool in just a moment. So let me do that ticker. I kind of like that. It makes me feel like I'm fancy with that ticker across the end. So let's see. Yes, you guys are. So not the number 7, but hashtag and the word 7. Okay. So not the number, but it needs to be like Robin is doing here, #7. All right. I should have made that very, very clear. But the number 7, not hashtag and 7 the number, but #7 the word. Okay. You guys have got it. Okay. Good. Good job, everybody. Great. So let's see. I'm going to add this to the stream and let's see how many of you. Oh, let me run this giveaway tool. Am I having trouble with this one more time? Bear with me here just a second. Let me redo this and let's make sure that we're getting these. Yep, here we go. Okay. It's not gonna, there we go. I've got 74 entries so far. Let's get up to 80 and I will hit the giveaway tool. 78, we're so close. 82, okay, perfect. Let's go for a giveaway. I'm going to do 3. So let's draw the first one and let's see who it is. Isn't this fun? Happy anniversary to us, right? For the 20. So Donna, you are the first winner. I'm going to screenshot you. And what you are going to do, Donna, we may already have your email, but just email us at info@beadshop.com so we have your correct email. And after the show, I'll email you your gift certificate. Okay, so let's go for the next one, shall we? Let's draw again. So let's see who's next. This is drawing number 2. Leah! Let me screenshot it. Email us over at info, so I've got your email address, and I'll reply with your $25 gift certificate code. Let's do one more, and then we'll do 4 more at the end. Isn't this fun? I just want to give away gift certificates all day. Janice is like, wait, what? What happened? Let's draw one more. Let's see who the winner is. Shannon LJ4 Johnson. Shannon, it's you. $25 is coming to you from beadshopdotcom. Please email me at info@beadshop.com so I have the correct email address for you. Keep adding that 7 in there. I'm going to draw 4 more at the end. So great job. Okay. Fun, right? So good job, everybody. Great. So we will go ahead and draw some more at the end of the broadcast. But let me take all of these banners off here for the moment. And this banner, there we go. And let's take a look at the project that we've got today. So today we're going to do the beaded braid. Okay, and I've called this one Magpie Memories. Beaded Braid was a great project that we did, and we archived it a while back, but you can find it under Beaded Braid on beadshop.com. And it's a pretty simple project that I think packs a lot of visual punch. And so I redid it a while back, right? Nicole was the originator, I believe, of this piece. And I have my project here that I'm going to share with you. So let's take a look at what I've got on here. And the colors. So this was the project right here that I made. I'm looking for a clean board. That one's too dirty. Janice will kill me if I put that on air. Let me grab this one right here so I can cover it up. This is one I did a while back. Let me show you so it's not all covered with stuff, right? So here is this one. Let me raise this up a little bit. The beaded braid, the whole centerpiece, kind of, or the nexus of this piece is the waxed linen. Okay, and so I don't know if you saw, we're going to talk about it in a minute. We've got new wax linen that just dropped yesterday in 3 new colors. We're going to add a couple more colors. We're going to add a white. We're going to add, I think maybe another yellow as well. Sorry, I had to take a drink of coffee, and I know sometimes that sounds kind of gross. So sorry about that, but I had to do it. But I'm going to use the star of this centerpiece, these new colors. So let me show you these. And then I want to show you how I work the color palettes with this. So this beaded braid we had a special little mix with the gooseberries. We had these ancient clay beads. Let me get a little closer so you guys can see the detail of those beads and the lint that's on here. And so you can see here, maybe if I can get it into focus. There we go. Those are the ancient clay beads. And so you can really create, kind of choose your own adventure with this. And Rose, I think that's a great question. Is it sticky feeling? Well, I'll talk to you a little bit about the wax linen. So let me put this aside. If you watch the Great Bead Extravaganza this weekend, our buddy Heather Powers over at Humble Beads, her project this weekend, she used wax linen, and I picked up a tip from her that I'm going to share with you because I was so impressed by it, and it helps. And Rose, it kind of goes back to your question, does it feel sticky? It doesn't feel sticky, you guys. It does have a little bit of a waxy feel because it's waxed linen. And it might, rough isn't the right term for it, right? But you can feel kind of the bumps in the linen. So there's a couple of ways I use this linen. Let me get the sample back. And the little trick I'm going to show you, I would only do on the strands that I'm not separating. So see here, down here, I might do these on the strands I'm separating after I separate them, but can you see how these are, I use the full linen strand here. So these are our new colors, okay? And so one of the tricks that Heather talked about was this paper trick. Some of you, I know that some of you were watching this weekend and have that trick. So she polishes the wax linen with a piece of paper. And I thought that was so terribly clever. So I'm going to cut a piece of this blue. And what you can also do is you can add a little more wax to this wax linen if you want. I'm just going to work with a small piece. And someone was saying that their wax linen dries out over time. Joanne, you were saying that. You may want to try this trick with some beeswax, kind of wax it. And then what Heather did, this is so not my original idea. Thank you to Heather Powers from Humble Beads. She got a piece of cardstock, like a piece of paper, and she ran her wax linen through to kind of polish the linen. Now, there's sometimes when I don't want this kind of polished feel to it, right? I want my wax linen to have a little more of a rustic feeling to it. But see how, and can you see, it's kind of hard to see on this paper, but see how that extra wax is kind of, what do I want to say, kind of absorbing into that piece of paper, or the extra is kind of going onto that piece of paper. So you have the exact right amount. I love this that Michelle is saying that plain chapstick works too in a pinch. But this isn't feel-o-vision, but I can feel, I want you to try this at home, because the difference between, I'm going to cut, you can't really tell, but I'm going to hold it up. Can you see? This is the waxed and polished, and this is the unwaxed and unpolished here. It's a little more thread-like, right? It's just, it's really a beautiful finish on that. Okay, so so give it a try if you'd like. But thank you to Heather for that tip. And I tried it right away, actually, when she was doing it, and I was like, "Wait, what? What's this magic?" And it's great. Let me see if you can still unfurl. One of the things about the wax linen, we carry the 4-ply. So this is after polishing it. I can still take the plies away. It doesn't smush too much. And Lynn is saying that it does. It has more body to the piece. Whoops, sorry about that. There we go. Okay, has more body to it. So yeah, it's good. And you can, yeah, and it's in the 10-yard spool that we carry. And see how I'm taking these plies apart. And you could wax these. Let me just pull this one. Well, I'll wax this one double. So we can wax it again if we want to. I'll wax these single plies here. Wax linen, Irish wax linen is very strong. It's a strong thread. There we go. And I'm going to get my little cardstock. It's just a little piece of, it's not heavy cardstock. It's kind of, you know, I don't know. It's not paper, but I bet you could just use regular paper too. But as I polish, take a look at the difference between, there's that bottom strand I just polished and that top strand. It is more smooth. That's right, Emma. That's right. It does look, it just is a little, it's kind of like when you use a flat iron on your hair, right? It kind of has that same feeling to it. So that's my little tip for you guys, okay, today with the wax linen. So now the wax linen that we're carrying, if you go to our Just In, let me go there, our new arrivals section, we have 3 colors. We've got the robin's egg blue, which is this one, robin egg blue. Let me put all this to the side. We've got the country yellow, and we've got the maroon. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about how I'm going to palette, the project, how I came up with this palette. Okay, so remember how we talked a little bit in the beadshopdotcom takeover for the Great Bead Extravaganza. We talked a little bit about color. We did a little color class for you there. And I talked a little bit about finding what your neutral color is. And finding a neutral doesn't necessarily mean white or off-white. It's just a what I call the neutral, or kind of the base for the project, and then trying to see how we build on that. Okay, building a bridge with that. So I knew I wanted to use the yellow, right? Because this yellow, let's be honest, it's a really kind of a chrome, kind of a really bright, kind of acidy yellow. It's not, this color isn't usually in my project making wheelhouse, right? But I wanted to use it because I thought this would be the most challenging. Okay, so let me show you kind of how I came up onto my color palette. So I put this down here, and then I started adding, these are those tiny sand casts, right here. So I started by saying, okay, if this is my neutral, let me put a neutral color with it. Okay, that's bright. Let me get down a little closer. Okay, you guys can see that. Then I started adding color. And I thought, well, maybe it needs like just brown, right? So I looked at those 3 and I yawned and I thought, oh, that's not very exciting, right? And these tiny sandcasts, they're over on beadshopdotcom. They are sandcast beads, but they're small. They're a small sandcast. We kind of call them sandcast seed beads, but they're not really seed beads, but they're small. They're 3 millimeter, and they have a really big hole. And these are from Ghana, from West Africa. Okay. So it was this. So I was like, you know, meh, I don't know. Wasn't that exciting. So then I thought, well, let me pump it up with these lime ones, right? And I was like, okay, that looks good, but it seems still not that exciting, right? So I took out this kind of caramel color. And this kind of is all now in kind of the same color family-ish, right? I've got that green, I've got that cream, and I've got that yellow, but they're all kind of, this kind of says monochromatic to me, okay? So now I started adding other colors, right? I added the purple, and I thought, oh, purple looks good, but it doesn't wow me that much. I mean, I like it. I added the blue, and I thought, yeah, the blue, this was might be a little dark. And then I went to this teal, and I went, yeah, gotcha, because this teal kind of has a bit of a green to it. Okay, so I was pleased with this pile. Now, with the rest of these, though, I could do this blue. Look at how that blue and that purple, I'm going to do a little bit of my bait and switch that I like to do. That blue, that purple, that cream, and that teal. Look at how nice that piles goes together, right? Looks good. You could trade that out. This blue also works for me. And let's trade that blue with this maroon and this caramel. That works, right? So you can just kind of play around with the color and make your stacks, right? So the stack that I settled on was this, this, and this. So let me get rid of these others. Gita had a question about explaining the difference between the tiny sand cast and the Padres. So let me show you that difference. I didn't want to forget before I do that though. I then, since I got this connection here, right? It's the plum. Thank you. I'm calling it purple. This is plum, actually. I always forget that. Drea and I were like oh, what should we call it? And we called it plum, but I keep calling it purple, but that's what this is. So I went with the lemon quartz and the champagne briolette. And I thought, well, I could add something a little darker, but that wasn't quite right. I could add purple, but that wasn't right. I think the purple goes more over here. So I used these guys, these two. Okay. Then I was on the hunt for something that looked shiny and fancy, but I didn't have a briolette. We have a green quartz briolette that would look great. But I went to our faceted ovals because faceted ovals and I have been having a moment. So I thought the juxtaposition of these kind of shiny and interesting gemstones with kind of the roughness, though that's not the best word, of the sand cast and kind of the boho quality of the linen all kind of work together. Trisha's all no shadows. I know, what a travesty, right? But I did then look at charms. And in that one that I made a while back, can you see I used the teardrop and I used shadows in this one. So I used the teardrop as the focal. Okay. So I got this Marrakesh link. We haven't used it in a while, so I wanted to highlight it. So there's that. And then I thought we've got all of these new nun design charms. And they're so exquisite. This flower is front and back. We've got that tiny heart. We've got that lotus. Look at this tiny bee. If you haven't seen them, they're in our Just In section. Let me measure these for you. They're kind of small. 9.2 millimeter. So they're smallish, right? And then look at that star, two-sided, nice and heavy feeling. And then I have the hook and eye clasp for the back right here. And then with metal, because I wanted to mix the metal a little bit, I used Happy Donuts and I used the coil spacers. Okay. So, so that's going to work. I think it's going to work. Okay. So now let's figure out how we're going to do this. Okay. So let me lift this up. And I love how you guys are still commenting 7 for the giveaways. All you need to do, you guys, is comment once because the giveaway tool that we use only counts one of your entries. So if you've already commented once, you're good to go. Just an FYI, so you don't have to keep commenting. You can just sit back, relax, and watch. Oh, Gita, let me tell you about the Padres. I have some right here. These are the lettuce ones, maybe. I don't know. The green. Someone will tell me what these are. I'm having a green. I've always loved green. And what I'm finding out is that not everybody loves green like I do, right? So I don't know. That's crazy. But I love green. And one of the things that Janice always says about her projects or about green when she uses green, that every green in nature goes with every other green. Okay. So you can throw a whole bunch of greens together and they automatically work. Like, look, I threw these Padres in. This would be great in this project. I'm going to stick to the sandcast, but the Padres, these are kind of like a seed bead. They're kind of like a size equivalent to about a size 6. Okay. And these, yeah, I know that these are the lime sandcast, but I think these are the lettuce ones right here, I think is what these are. So you can see they're round and they're kind of irregular. In the sandcast, can you see how they're kind of like little tubes? Okay, and these are made in West Africa. They're made of powdered glass, and so, but they're both glass, but they're just made in 2 different ways. So they have a little bit of a nubby kind of a texture to them. Let me let my camera focus there, but you can see that. Okay. And yeah, this is the fresh lettuce Padres. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, the lime and teal is kind of, this is a say something necklace for sure. So I'm going to put my spacers. Let's get this ready to go. I'm going to put my spacers over here. Let me get some more triangles. Buy myself a little more time to think about this. Let me put my charms here. Right here, along with my clasp. Here's this Marrakesh, right? And Curtis, I could not agree with you more. I worry too much about color. I need to relax a bit and let the beads select each other. I think that is an excellent way of putting it. Because I was thinking about this project and really thinking about it and kind of fussing over it a little bit. And as soon as I stepped back from it and relaxed and just threw these beads on the tray, right? Then it all is revealed. Okay, so yes, you know what? In our world today, there are so many more things to worry about. So let's save our worrying for things beyond the bead table, right? But that's the fun of it. And that's one of the things that I do when I have no idea what color I'm going to be using. Okay, I will just color palette. So that's the way I store my beads. I store all of my beads by color. And I'll give you guys a tour sometime. Some of you guys have seen it, but my drawers of beads that are all mixed in by color. When we had the brick and mortar store in Palo Alto, and when I had my brick and mortar store in San Francisco, we did it all by color, right? Anyway, that kind of helps me kind of palette when I do it. I think I want that one. There we go. All right, so I have 5. I've kind of put that over to 5. Now let me get, and I'm going to put these brios in with it. Let me free these beads up. Where are the rest of my triangles? Where did they go? I just pulled them out. Are they still in the drawer? They are. Okay. So I'm going to give myself some of these lime ones. I'm not going to take too many off of the strand at a time, just a few. And right now the wheels are spinning in my brain about how I want to distribute the color between the strands of the necklace, right? So if you look at this one here that I've made, right, can you see how these strands are all pretty much mixed? But can you also see how this color, it's all kind of a monochrome, right? Here, I've got a lot going on with these colors, right? So I'm thinking in my head, maybe to bring some cohesiveness to this piece, maybe I stick with one color per strand, maybe. I don't know. Bear with me here and we'll decide how that's going to look. So here's the off-white. Then I'm going to put those aside. Here's the teal, or that I'm calling these off-white. I think we probably call them cream. Here's the teal. And let me put those aside. Now you could mix anything else in here. I'm highlighting this project with the tiny sand cast, but you could use anything you could add to this to stash dive. Okay. Now, I have to check, and I should have done this earlier, but what a surprise that I didn't. I need to make sure that all of these beads fit on this strand. If it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal because I can strip the linen out, right? This is 4-ply, so I could take it down to 3 or 2 or whatever. So here's this. Sorry, it's having trouble. There we go. Focusing on there. The sticklers are going to be these guys. I think they'll fit, she says, hopefully. There we go. Almost. The way that these beads, these are from India, so the way that these have been drilled is they've been drilled one side, you know, is bigger than the other. So what I'm going to do when I use these beads, and I had a feeling that would be so, I'm going to use 2 strands, and that'll be just fine. And I can have those maybe go on the outside. Sorry, I moved it. There we go. Okay, so yeah, force them on. Yeah, I'm in charge. I could also maybe wax this a little bit more too, and I could search through the strand. Let me just check a few more. This is part of the bead auditioning process. Yeah, 2, they really like the double strand, so that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to hold that off there for a second. So everything else works. So let me lift this up. And I'm going to measure some strands here. And with this one, this beaded braid, can you see how this one's braided? That one's braided. Whoops, hard for you to see. That one's braided. This one's 2 strands. That one's braided. That one I think is 4 strands there. Okay. You could also mix your threads like Janice is saying. You remember this one that Janice did with that beautiful pearl one with the strawberry quartz? This fit on a griffin size silk with needle. So you could mix some silk in here with this too. That would certainly work, right? Why not mix it? Because this piece is going to be fairly boho. So let me show you how I'm going to measure my thread. And I'm going to show you face up here. So I'm going to take my thread and I need some extra. So I've wrapped it around my neck or put it behind my neck like this. I'm holding it out here like this, maybe this much. Let me measure it for you. Okay. So that gave me about 50 inches. Okay. So one of these is going to be a braid. So I need 3 for a braid, right? So there's 3. I'm going to cut these and I'm going to put this aside, okay, down here. Then I need a couple more strands. I need, maybe I'll string just a single one. There we go. That's my arm length. So there's another one. And I'll do another one that I'm going to strip out so I've got 2 cords that I'm using. Okay. So the way I do this is a long strand. I always want a little more than I need because who knows what I'm going to do. Am I going to knot? What am I going to do with this? I should be doing this under my top camera. Let me go there. Okay. Braiding will shorten the strand. It's not going to shorten the strand a lot, but I do want to make sure that I've got enough. What I have on here, let me pull this out, you guys. On the camera, it looks nice and clean. Look at what my table really looks like. Does your table really look like that? Let me give you a dose of behind the scenes realness right there. I just cleaned it. What happened to me? So let me clear this up a little bit. Oh my goodness gracious. There we go. All right. Let me put that. There we go. Let's pretend that never happened. But all of a sudden I looked at it and I'm like, wait a minute, this is a nightmare. So I'm glad you guys commiserate that it happens to you as well, you folks out there, because I just it gets so messy on this bead table. What are you gonna do? Okay, so here 1 hour to clean. Yes, that is correct. 1 hour to clean, 30 seconds to destroy. That is correct, right? Yes, nothing to see there. Move along, everyone. Move along. Okay, so I'm going to take these 2 plies and I'm going to undo them. And undoing the plies always takes a little bit of time. What I do here is I kind of untwist it. I also can put one end on the floor and I step on it. And then it's kind of hard for you to see. Here, let me do my front camera. You kind of have to, there we go. See that? How I'm kind of pulling it around like that. And then here, let me see. Lori says, if I wanted to see that, I go in my craft room. That's awesome. Is Leah here? Oh, that's awesome. Hello, my friend. There she is. Yeah, just like with embroidery thread. Exactly. So here we go. So see how I can kind of pull it like that? I'm almost there. Almost. Almost there. So I've got this little bit at the end. And I just kind of push against it on the table. And then I'm going to re-wax it just a little bit. It's hard for you guys to see because I have this out of frame. But can you see I've just got a little bit left there to split out. I'm going to go here. Whoops. Sorry, let me go back to there. Okay. So here this is. We're going to split the very last of these threads. And you can see how strong this wax linen is. And that's why we carry the 4-ply. There we go. Because the 4-ply, you can do this. So here's my thread. All right. Now I've split it out. Okay. So now I'm going to get my beeswax. And I'm just going to wax this all down. Because see how it looks kind of stringy and not so pretty? Right. So I'm going to re-wax it. I'm going to put it through one more time. Then we're going to do the Heather Powers, which is the polish. So I'm going to take it here, put it through my piece of paper, and pull it through. And let's compare the two. I'm going to polish it twice. I was so impressed by this. I was so impressed by her designs this weekend anyway. That woman is she's such a great designer, and her beads are just so delightful. So can you see here how nice and polished and interesting, and clean this thread looks now that I've done that? Here's the other that I stripped out, and can you see it's kind of a little wavy gravy here? So it really makes the thread very nice. So let's double check and see if these will go through. I can also grab a needle. And I can also stiffen this a little bit with Zap glue, but you just have to find them. There we go. Look at that. Very pretty, like that. Okay. So I'm going to string 5 beads on here. I'm going to get 5. And I'm just going to set these aside. Now the muse is starting to visit everybody. Okay. But the muse is saying, oh, this was almost through. Let's turn it the other way. There it goes. And let me see if I can get this one. Because these beads are kind of the say something beads. Yeah, there they go. The kind of big beads. 2, 4, 5. Let me put 7 on here. Okay, and then I'm going to put that aside. Well, I measure the faceted oval in inches, Janice. Okay. Let me see. In millimeters, hole to hole, it's 10.6. Whoops. I re-zeroed. I didn't go to So it's 10.7, and it's almost half an inch, 0.42. And then long ways, inches, it's a little longer than half an inch. Okay. So I'm going to put on 7, and then I'm going to put this aside. I don't know why that's what I wanted, but that's what I want. And the contrast of this crazy electric yellow and this green is super interesting. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to start it here, and I'm going to put these, let me show you front view. I put them in the center like this. Whoops, one fell off. Hang on, come back here. Bead's natural habitat is the floor. Let me put this back on. There we go. And I'm going to set this aside. Okay, I don't know. It's percolating. So let's do a braid. Okay, so we're going to put that there. Let me get my long 3 strands here. Here they are. And I'm going to leave myself some room at the end because I don't really know how I'm going to close this. I mean, I know I'm going to use that clasp, right? What I'm probably going to do is put everything through this loop and maybe silk wrap it. Maybe I'll add a jump ring onto here and then silk wrap it, but I don't need to know right now. So I don't know, maybe like this much, 2 inches-ish. Oh, the necklace I'm wearing, right? The tape measure. Perfect. Let me put that down. And then this side, I'm going to cut that loop open here. So I've got 3. And I could polish and re-wax these, but since this is demo time and not real jewelry making time. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 strand that has some blue and white. It's all going to get mixed up, right? So maybe I want to color block them instead. Let's see how it looks. I don't know. Because you need to think ahead to, like, this is where you need to talk about or think about big picture and not little picture. Okay? So this is where I start to freak out a little bit. And I go, oh gosh, is this the right bead that I'm putting on next to this bead? Is this right? Is this going to be the right thing? Whatever. Just chillax, right? Put the beads on. If this picture over here all makes sense, right? Then what fits, what goes on your necklace is also going to make sense. So I'm not going to put a whole ton of beads on here. I just want to put some, and then I'm going to braid some, and then we're going to look at it. Because I'm following the basic formula for beaded braid, right? You just get your wax linen and you bead some beads and braid some beads into it, right? That's it. So here's this. All right, and I've just put them on the center strand because I don't have to have them on all 3 because I can distribute them. All right. So here's this. Okay. So I'm going to braid a little bit, right? Just to get some going. Just like braiding a ponytail. putting a little bit of tension on there. It can also get a little tangled on the opposite end here. So you kind of want to go a little ways and then kind of untangle, right? Because the braiding up here will also twist the ends. So here's my braid. Now I'm going to bring up one bead, braid, bring up another bead. Now the bead is over here. Keep the tension, braid, bring up another bead. And if you forget where you are in the braid, it doesn't really matter. I think I might have a mistake in here already, but no one will notice. Slide up another one. That might be a little close, so let me get a braid in there. There we go. Now slide that up. Braid. And see, these beads are just going to fall where they fall. See, there's I kind of move around a little bit here, so we just have to keep going. But make sure you have this connected with a clamper. Here's another white one. Cream, really, what it is. Slide it up and braid. So you can see that's like 5 of these that I put in a row. And with the braiding, it kind of, or maybe that's 4, it kind of, whoops, I'm like, what's that noise? It's my beads coming off the other side. Because you know what I didn't do? Tie a flippin' knot on the end where my beads are. Right? There we go. Sorry about that. I was a little out of frame. Sorry, I was zealously braiding and not paying attention. So let's add a few more. So maybe that's, but again, it doesn't really matter because there's going to be other strands that sit next to it. So let me braid all of these in, and then I'm going to go to my next strand. Okay, let me get the metal in there. Whoops, and this is now tangled with those green ones. Let me get that out of the way. So yeah, don't forget to tie a little knot at the bottom right there so that your beads don't come off. So here's this, braid it in. And once you have like this length, I don't know, about 4 inches or so, you can move this up and reclamp. Just make sure you're not clamping on a bead. Okay? Thanks, Amy. I think this is looking kind of good. Sometimes you just have to go with it. And as you guys know, when I create live on air with all of you all, sometimes it can be a little bit of a crapshoot, right? Because I am flying by the seat of my design pants. So, but sometimes that's good because it forces me to make decisions, right? Where I might, if I were just kind of making this, I might hem and haw and try and, overthink, right? So this helps me not to overthink. Here's this one. And I think the color blocking, I'm not mad at it. I kind of like it. So let me get that happy donut up here and just braid that in. Catch it and braid it. Okay, I think that looks pretty. So now I've got this. So let's pull this up. Let's take this and I'm going to put that right there. Okay, Yeah, the color blocking I think is good. And I think I could do another strand of this braiding like this. So I might do two of these. Okay. I have this strand to work in. Okay. So let me go back to the front camera here. If, take that off. I'm going to make this about maybe 22 inches, somewhere in there, and maybe there's going to be 4 strands, 5 strands, something like that, right? I think about, okay, I'm going to put that centerpiece there. Maybe it'll drop just a little bit more. So maybe that centerpiece will come at about 24 inches, and then everything else will graduate up. Okay? So I'm going to attach this cord to the center and work my way out from this one. Because this, when you have a specific centerpiece, right, this is the one, this is the most important starting point, if that makes sense. So I'm going to come in, I'm just going to do a little lark's head knot over that. So here's this, and it's going to go out like this. I could attach 3 lark's head and I could braid from here to here. But I think what I'm going to do with this one, where are my spacers? Let's make it look intentional. Let me get, this might not look right, but let me see. Can I get 2 in there? Come on. Everyone's holding their collective bead breath. Yeah, that doesn't want to go in there. Let me look for one more that has a big, I have a feeling I'm just going to take that off. So never mind. We'll just move on. How about this, this, and this? There we go. Then, yeah, see how that kind of fits nicely there. So then, I also have to work in these, and I'm going to start in the center, and I'm actually going to take these off, but I know I've got 3 and 3. I've got this here, I've got my center, my thread centered, and I'm going to tie a knot, and I'm wondering, no, I just want it to be this, that's all. So I've tied one there. I'm going to put here and here. Okay, so I know I want that, that's going to sit there. Okay, now maybe I'm going to tie another strand or another knot here. Let me tell you about, that's maybe an inch-ish. Okay, and I think I want the blue. 1, 2, 3. So see how the length of these blue ones are kind of similar to the length or the width of this green onyx. Okay, so visually it makes sense. If I had put one, let me get my awl to help me move that knot down. I don't know where my awl is, but I've got some knotting tweezers. Those will work too. I'm just going to walk this down. It doesn't have to be exactly right on the money. Just knot it. And we have a bunch of purl knotting videos. I'm going to do this at Kate speed here. And I started in the center. So I'm going to do this one next. Now there's a little bit of wax in these, but that's okay. It'll go on. It'll go on, she said, encouragingly. Let me get a wire, clear the wax out of that hole. But I wanted to put them on the cord because I wanted to see what they looked like, so I had to have that step. But I cleared it. There we go. And tie that thread. Okay, like that. And then about an inch, just measure with your mind. Don't worry about a tape measure here, right? This isn't, I'm not knotting a float with cultured pearls. I'm knotting a float. Ooh, and see how that goes over? So if that jumps over, I'm going to just tie a knot going through once and going through twice and make the knot a little fatter. There we go. And now I'll put these on. And you could mix up this color, but I think I want to. I think I'm going to stick with this green and this teal on this strand. And let's see how that knot looks. Yep, that goes. So I need to go through twice. Once, twice, and down. Okay, and there can be a little bit of room there, right? That's fine. So now let me go to this side. So I've got 3 on here, and then we can look at how things are shaping up. Okay, and so I go here once, twice, maybe 3, right, to make it a nice fat knot. Just tighten it and kind of move it near the place you want it to be. There we go. And let me put on 1, 2, and 3 of these. 1, come on, 2, yep, 3. Here we go. Okay, and then through once and twice and 3 times. That gives me a nice size knot. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Oh, whoops, I want that green to be in the middle, so where'd my little piece of clearing wire go? Pull that wax down. Come on, who's the boss? There we go. Did I forget to tie a knot? I did. So let me just tie the knot with the bead on there. No big deal. There we go. Tighten that up. This goes down. All right, so let's take a look at this. Okay. Yeah, you were expecting such an epic project today. I wasn't either. Maybe I was. I don't know. It's our going into our 7th year, our 6th anniversary. We had to do something epic, right? So here's this, right? Let me get, where's my centerpiece? Here this is. This is going to go here. Okay, you wouldn't think that these ovals and this wax linen would work out, but I really think it does. I, of course, have a tangled mess off camera. There we go. Put that back over there. These will go here. That goes there. That goes there. There we go. So there's my center. Here's this. These guys are going to go on in a minute. I think I'm going to add some more braid like this. I'm going to add a single knotted strand. I know I've got that single strand sitting here somewhere. Maybe I have it right here. Maybe just a single knotted strand somewhere, and I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put that briolette down there, and then I've got one more brio, right? So I think this brio is going to sit maybe right there, and I'm going to have to wire wrap it. Okay. Yeah, I do. I need 3 more beads on that side. This whole thing is going to be, I'm going to put the rest of these on and stuff. Okay. So let me just wire wrap that briolette real quick. I'm using vintage bronze for that briolette. And then the charms, well, let me wire wrap this. And then we'll address the charms. And then what I want you guys to do, if you haven't already, I'm going to draw very soon. So I'm going to put the ticker on. It's time. If you haven't entered #7, do it now, because I'm going to draw the last 4 anniversary party gift certificates. This wire gauge, very good question. This is a 24 gauge, and in the briolettes you can use either 24 or 26. You could even use 28 if you needed. Gosh, I'm like a rookie. I haven't wire wrapped a briolette in ages. There we go. So here's that. We've got a skill builder on how to wire wrap a briolette. So here's this, and I'll bend at a right angle for my loop. I'm going to bring this up and over. I don't need a big loop, but check out our skill builders on how to wire wrap a briolette on Beadshop. I'm not going to go over it here step by step, but I've got a really good step-by-step tutorial over there. Wire wrap it. I'm going to go back up and kind of give myself kind of an intentionally messy wrap. Whoops, sorry about that. Kind of out of focus there. Clip my extra away. So this is ready to string up there. Now I think I'm going to do in my next braid, and we'll have to revisit this because this was an epic project. But this one, maybe that brio will be in the center. Maybe that brio, maybe I'll put that brio on that braided strand. Okay. And then on my next braided strand, I'm going to put in the nun charms. Okay. I've got 6 of them, but you can choose a few more, right? And then I'm going to wire wrap. Where did that other brio go? Right here. That might be too many. So I think I'm going to stick with that there. Braided here with this. Another braided wrap here. And then just a few tied on, you know, like a float. And I'm going to mix the colors up here. Maybe I'll do them in sections of 3, whatever. Okay? Does that make sense? So I think this is how it's going to go. So I will revisit this for you guys. I'm going to work on it some more today. And then we'll look at the tassel. I won't do it this Friday for Free Tip Friday because we've got Emily joining us. But I think I can, let me take a look and just see when, let me click this. I'm looking at our Free Tip Friday calendar as we speak. Beaded Berry Chain is this weekend. We'll do it soon. Gosh, we've got so many things coming. But I'll share this with you soon. I'm looking where I can put it in. But check the newsletter, okay? And I'm going to show this on Friday again to see, because Emily's doing Beaded Berry Chain with me. So I'll forward this along a little more on Friday so you guys can see where I'm at with this. And then Drea will put it in the newsletter, the finished one, so you guys can see it. I don't want it to go out pretty far. But we've done a float. We're going to do 2 more braids, these and the charms, this single one with a float, and then I might throw 1 more random strand. I do want to show you what I'm going to do with the end. And here's the hook and eye, like that, right? So I'm going to put all the strands through, and I'm just going to silk wrap it there. Okay. So I think it's going to turn out to be, I'm glad you guys love a good to be continued project, because this one turned out a little more epically than I thought it might. But Beaded Berry Chain is going to be on Friday with Emily. And it's not with wax linen. It's with seed bead thread. I think she uses Fireline. Right? So it's going to be a lot of fun. The beaded berry she's doing this time with bugle beads. It's going to look amazing. Okay. So, and I'll share this. We'll have time on Friday. She'll do the beaded berry, and then I'll show you how I close this sucker off. Okay. So it looks like we've got so many comments here. So I'm going to share this, adding this to stream. Our last winner was Shannon. We have 181 entries. That's awesome. I'm going to draw 4 more. So let's draw again here for our next $25 gift certificate. And let's see, Judy, you're a winner. That's number 4. Let's go ahead and draw some more. So let's, just as a reminder, you want to email us, though, Judy, I think we probably have your email, but email that you were the winner at info@beadshopdotcom, and I will reply with your gift certificate code for $25 that you can put towards anything you like. Okay. Linda, this is a great question. I'll get back to that in just a second about beads or charms with some weight. Hold that thought. Let's go ahead and draw again. This is drawing number 5. We've got 2 more after this. Who even heard of it? 7 gift certificates today. Linda Larson. Good job. I'm going to screenshot that. That was number 5. So 2 more. Let's go with, isn't it fun? It's kind of like a game show. Who's next? Sandy Short. Janice, I saw that you added yourself, but I think you were showing people what to do. So that was kind of funny. Sandy Short, perfect. And we'll do our last one for number 7. And Diane, congratulations. I love this giveaway tool. I love seeing all the confetti. So you guys, you ladies, you folks, you people, email me at info@Beadshop, and we will email you back with your $25 gift certificate code. I think it's kind of fun. So I'll do this. Sandy says she walks away and she heard her name. See what happens? Well, shoot us that email and I will send you that gift certificate. We'll do some more. We had fun doing the giveaways this week, this Saturday on the Great Bead Extravaganza. That was fun too. So we will we'll do that again. So on Friday, I know it was fun. Keep it going. I know it's totally fun. So that's a great question, Deb. How do we sign up for the newsletter? Well, I will tell you, madam, how to sign up for that newsletter. What you do is you go right to beadshopdotcom. You can find all of the information on the project and the products from today's broadcast right on beadshop.com. And if you go right on the homepage, you'll see the newsletter sign up, and that's where you'll get the latest discounts, giveaways, and new product information. So you can pop right over there. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social at beadshop.com on Insta, join us for our Facebook group at the Bead Table on Facebook, and hit that like, subscribe, and follow button on YouTube on beadshop.com. And you will find all on Beadshop, all of those years, 6 years of me coming at you, going, hey, everybody, it's Kate Richbourg, with Janice and with Emily by my side, with some of our friends that have moved on to different employment opportunities. So we have the whole Bead Shop crew. We even have a few, I think, with Drea on there, a couple with Allie. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great walk down memory lane and project memory lane for all of that. So I will see you all on Friday with Emily for Beaded Berry Chain, and the resolution, we'll forward this a little bit more, and I'll have it for Drea. She'll add it to the newsletter, right? So you guys can see the evolution and the finish with this. It'll also be posted on the project called Magpie Memories, because it's very shiny, and like a magpie, I like all of those shiny things. So thanks to all you all. Without you out there, we couldn't be doing what we do here. So thanks everyone, and I'll see you Friday with Emily. Bye everybody.